All right, so today we're going to dive into the world of negotiation.
Ooh, negotiation.
Yeah, and not just any negotiation.
Okay.
We're talking FBI hostage negotiation tactics.
Oh, wow.
You sent over some fascinating stuff with Chris Voss.
Yeah.
He's a former lead international kidnapping negotiator
Wow.
with the FBI, and
That's high stakes.
yeah, this is going to completely change
Yeah.
how you think about everything, like salary talks or even like what's for dinner.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that his experience in those like really high stakes situations actually has some really practical lessons for everyday life.
Yeah.
We've got excerpts from his book,
Oh, wait.
Never Split the Difference.
Okay.
And then we've also got a couple of his YouTube videos.
Okay.
One is a Talks at Google,
Uh-huh.
and the other one is an interview with Inc. magazine.
Okay, cool. So let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Voss has this idea that no isn't actually the end of a negotiation.
Interesting.
But like the beginning, right. When someone says no, they're still engaging.
Right.
It's not like they're just walking away.
Yeah, they're participating in the conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in the Talks at Google video,
Yes.
Voss tells this story
Okay.
about an event organizer
Uh-huh.
named Marin Chesney.
Okay.
And she had forgotten to request chairs
Oh, no.
for an event. And when she asked for them,
Uh-huh.
they initially said no.
Oh.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Instead of giving up,
Yeah.
Marin used one of Voss's tactics
Oh, cool.
and asked if she could pick the chairs up herself.
Smart.
And they ended up having the chairs delivered.
Wow.
Right to her.
So she turned a no into a yes.
Yeah,
Because, like,
that's great.
she found a solution.
Yeah, and that's a good lesson
Yeah.
for everyone when you hear no.
Yeah.
Don't just like panic.
Right.
Think creatively. What's another way that you can,
Yeah.
get that yes.
Yeah. So it's like,
Or address their concerns.
right. So no is not a dead end.
Like a roundabout.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It leads you on a different route.
Yes.
Now, Voss takes this idea a step further
Okay.
with what he called the magic phrase.
Ooh, what is it?
That's right.
Interesting.
He thinks that if you can get the other person to say that,
Yeah.
that can unlock these crazy breakthroughs
Okay.
in a negotiation.
Okay.
And he has a pretty mind-blowing example of this in the Inc. video.
Okay.
He talks about coaching a Philippine military official
Oh, wow.
who was in a hostage negotiation with a terrorist.
Oh, my gosh.
And the terrorist was demanding a $10 million ransom.
For an American hostage?
Yeah, for an American hostage.
Wow.
And so Voss
Okay.
told this official to summarize the terrorist's concerns
Okay.
and acknowledge like the historical injustices that had
Yeah.
happened
Wow.
to his people.
Powerful.
And so after hearing his frustrations,
Yeah.
like put so clearly,
Uh-huh.
the terrorist said, "That's right."
Oh.
And the ransom demand vanished.
What?
Completely gone.
Just by getting him to say, that's right.
yeah.
That's incredible.
A complete flip
Yeah, what a story.
in this life or death situation.
And that's his point. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's right signifies this moment of connection
yeah.
and understanding.
Right. You're seeing their perspective.
Totally.
So how do we, as,
Right.
regular people,
Yeah.
apply this in our daily lives?
Yeah, so it's about confirming understanding.
Okay.
So, like, imagine you're trying to negotiate a project deadline at work.
Uh-huh.
Instead of arguing back and forth,
Right.
try to summarize the other person's concerns.
Okay.
So you could say, it sounds like you're worried about having enough time to deliver high-quality work.
Yeah.
That's right.
I-
Like, just acknowledging their perspective can de-escalate
Right.
the tension
Yeah.
and build trust.
So it's like you're saying, I hear you.
Totally.
I get it.
Yeah.
And that just opens up a space for collaboration.
Exactly. And it's amazing how these two little words
Yeah.
can be so powerful.
Totally. And this all ties into Voss's idea that negotiation is not just about logic.
Right.
He thinks every decision we
Yeah.
make is actually,
Even rational ones.
driven by emotion.
Yes. Emotions are huge.
Yeah. And he says this in the Google talk.
Uh-huh.
He explicitly states
Okay.
everybody is driven by emotions.
Wow.
So if we're trying to like win a negotiation
Yeah.
through pure logic
Right.
or by like outsmarting the other person,
Yes.
we're probably setting ourselves up for failure.
Totally. So we need to recognize that emotional layer
Yes.
and figure out what's driving the person on the other side of the table.
yeah, what are their fears?
Exactly.
Their aspirations.
Yeah. And that's where tactical empathy comes in. Tactical empathy.
Tactical empathy. That sounds kind
Yeah.
of like a superpower.
It does.
But
Yeah.
what I'm getting is it's about
Mhm.
truly like understanding
Yeah.
the other person's perspective
Yeah.
to get information that they might not
realize is important.
realize is important.
Yeah.
So it's not about manipulating them.
Right. It's about understanding them.
It's about understanding.
Yeah.
Voss tells this story in the Google Talk
Okay.
about one of his students
Okay.
who was arguing with his wife
Oh, no.
about getting a Christmas tree.
Uh-oh.
And the student wanted an artificial tree.
Practical.
Right.
Yeah. No mess.
Yeah, who wants to vacuum up pine needles every day?
Yeah.
But his wife insisted on getting a real tree.
Okay.
And the student was baffled.
Yeah.
So he used one of Voss's techniques,
Okay.
labeling,
Okay.
and said to his wife, it seems like maybe you had real trees growing up. And
That's good.
yeah, that question like unlocked all these emotions for his wife. And she started talking about like all these childhood memories about Christmas trees, family gatherings, a whole experience.
Yeah.
And he realized that it wasn't just about the tree.
Right.
It was about
the feelings.
yeah, the feelings and
The
traditions.
meaning behind it.
Exactly.
Yes. And of course, they got a real tree that year.
Of course.
Yeah. But the takeaway is that,
Yeah.
tactical empathy helped them
Yeah.
move beyond that argument
Yeah.
and get to those deeper motivations.
So tactical empathy can save your relationship.
It can definitely help.
But how do we use this
Yeah.
in like a business setting?
Right. So in a business negotiation, it's about asking powerful questions.
Okay.
So instead of focusing on what they want,
Right.
you want to focus on why they want it.
Okay.
What are their needs?
Okay.
What are their goals?
Okay.
Voss really likes to use open-ended questions
Okay.
to get people to share more information.
So instead of saying,
Right.
do you want a shorter deadline?
Right. You could
Yeah.
say, what would a shorter deadline allow you to accomplish?
Oh,
Right.
I see.
Yeah. And then you listen to their answer.
Okay.
Carefully look for those subtle cues
Yeah.
and the things that they might not even be aware of.
Right.
It's like being a detective.
So we're looking for clues.
Yeah.
Okay. And that kind of reminds me of what Voss was saying.
Yes.
About black swans.
The black swans.
These hidden pieces of information.
Yeah.
How do we find those?
Right. So tactical empathy is actually one of the ways that we
Well,
can find those black swans.
Okay.
So by understanding their perspective,
Uh-huh.
we can identify those like seemingly unimportant details
Right.
or comments that
Yeah.
could be really important.
Okay. So we need to pay attention to like what they're saying,
Yeah.
but also how they're saying it.
Exactly. Like their body language, their tone of voice.
Right. It's
All of that.
all of those little clues.
Yeah. It's like being observant,
Yeah.
analytical, and being willing to look beyond the obvious.
So black swans are like those clues in a mystery
Totally.
that suddenly make everything make sense.
Yes, exactly.
And like a good detective.
Right.
We have to be patient,
Yes.
persistent.
Yeah.
But Voss thinks that if we really try and
Mhm.
focus on understanding,
Yeah.
we can find these black swans.
Yes, and it's not about manipulating. It's about finding solutions that work for everyone.
Okay, that makes sense. But this all seems like it's based on trust.
Right.
What about like
Yeah.
the ethics of all this?
Right. That's a great question.
Yeah. Can these techniques be misused?
Yeah, and that's something that Voss talks about
Okay.
a lot in these sources.
Okay.
He really emphasizes that honesty and integrity are super important.
Okay.
He sees dishonesty
Yeah.
as ultimately damaging
Yeah.
and unsustainable.
So we're not trying to trick anyone
Right.
into getting what we want.
Exactly. And he actually shares a story in the Google Talk
Okay.
about a business deal
Hmm.
that went wrong.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a negotiation that took 3 years,
Oh, wow.
and it was financially successful,
Okay.
but it caused a lot of pain
Oh, no.
and damaged relationships along the way. And he actually calls it blood money.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a powerful story.
Yeah.
It sounds like he really learned from that.
Yeah. It was a turning point for him.
Yeah.
He realized that in trying to win,
Uh-huh.
he'd lost sight of the human element.
Right.
He was so focused on the outcome
Yeah.
that he forgot about the people.
So even an FBI negotiator
Yeah,
can make
yeah.
mistakes.
We all make mistakes,
Yeah.
but it's about learning from them.
Exactly.
And for Voss, that experience
Yeah.
really changed how he approached negotiation.
Okay.
He realized that no deal is worth
Right.
sacrificing your integrity or damaging relationships.
That's a good reminder that success isn't...
It's about like the bottom line.
Yeah.
It's also about how we treat people.
Exactly. And that brings us to
Yeah.
another important point.
Okay.
managing our own emotions.
Right, because we've been talking about
Yeah.
understanding the other person's emotions.
Yes, but we also need to be aware of our own emotions.
That makes sense, because if I'm feeling stressed, anxious, that's going to affect how I interact with other people.
Totally. And Voss actually tells a funny story in the Google Talk about this time he tried to use a hostage negotiation tactic with his ex-wife.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it backfired.
I got to hear this.
Yeah.
What happened?
So he was trying to de-escalate a situation by saying, "You sound angry."
Oh. Not the best approach.
Not a great approach.
Especially with someone who's mad at you.
Exactly. And it did not go well.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So what did he learn from that? He learned that just labeling an emotion isn't enough.
Yeah.
Especially when someone's upset with you.
So how do we manage our own emotions?
Right. So it's about being authentic. And taking responsibility. So acknowledging their feelings and recognizing our role. Even if we don't agree with their perspective.
It's like putting yourself in their shoes.
Exactly.
You know, trying to see where they're coming from.
Totally. And that brings us back to tactical empathy.
Tactical empathy.
It's not just about techniques.
Right.
It's about a mindset of understanding respect and connection.
And that applies to
that goes
more than just negotiations.
Way beyond negotiation.
Yeah, like all kinds of relationships.
Yeah, totally. So whether we're talking about colleagues, loved ones, or strangers, being able to connect and build trust is essential.
So Voss isn't just teaching us how to win.
He's teaching us.
He's teaching us how to be better people.
How to be better humans.
I love that. He's shifting our mindset from win-lose
to win-win.
To win-win to collaboration.
Yeah.
So it's about approaching every interaction, whether it's a big negotiation or just a casual conversation with empathy.
With empathy and understanding.
Understanding.
Yeah. So to kind of wrap up this whole deep dive into negotiation. We've learned that it's not about tricks or manipulation.
It's about connecting.
Yeah, it's about understanding the power of knowing it.
Yeah. Tactical empathy.
Tactical empathy.
And remembering that.
And that we all make mistakes.
Even FBI negotiators. And we talked about black swans.
Yes.
Those hidden pieces of information.
They could be the key to, like, a breakthrough.
Yeah, I'm feeling inspired to go look for those black swans.
Yeah, they're out there.
They're everywhere.
Just waiting to be discovered.
Now, before we go,
I
want to leave our listeners with a little challenge.
I like it.
Think about a negotiation that you're facing. It could be at work, at home, wherever. Ask yourself, what's my black swan?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, like what little detail could unlock a win-win?
And how can you use tactical empathy to uncover it?
Those powerful questions. That authentic connection.
Exactly. Remember, negotiation. It's not about battling it out. It's about working together.
They're working together.
To find a solution.
Okay, so go out there. Negotiate like an FBI hostage negotiator.
You be that negotiator.
And if you want to learn more about Voss's techniques, definitely check out.
Pick up
his book, Never Split the Difference.
Such a good book.
Yeah, it'll change how you approach negotiation.
Absolutely.
Forever happy negotiating.
Happy negotiating.